Jimmy Rollins set to lead off for the Phillies. Hit a leadoff home run off Suppan in the first inning to put the Phillies on the board 1-0. Suppan wiggling out of a jam in the second inning, giving up 2 hits, but Jeff Suppan strikes out the side in the second. Phillies had an opportunity to add to their lead. Rollins now 5 for 13 with 2 doubles and a long ball in this NLDS. 4 of those 5 hits as a left-handed hitter. Joe Bland off to a terrific start for Philadelphia. He's given up just 1 hit in his first 2 innings. Retired 6 of 7.
Looks like he's getting a feel for that fastball, John, that you said was so important for him. And after a week's layoff, he's beginning to hit some spots.
And Rollins hits that one high in the air, playable for Corey Hart. And 1 gone. Game 4 of this best-of-5. If the Brewers win here today, then it will set up a tremendous Game 5 matchup. CC Sabathia for Milwaukee, Cole Hamels for Philadelphia. And we'd have that for you Tuesday, all beginning at 8 o'clock with the MLB on deck.
I know, Joe, you mentioned that knocking the rust off. You know, both him and Jamie Moore somewhat similar in the sense that they rely on location and changing speeds. With longer layoffs, you always wonder what each individual guy does to prepare for it. A harder thrower, a more stuffed guy who can live in the strike zone more, might benefit from a layoff a little bit more than a finesse pitcher.
Little flare, going to be a tough play. J.J. Hardy lays out. That's a fair ball. And Victorino to second base with a double. A dying Quail that falls for an extra base hit. Shane Victorino continues to swing the bat well.
Chase Utley drove in those 2 runs on that hit in the 3rd inning of Game 1. Those are the only RBIs for him in this postseason.
Utley walked his last time up. Ryan Howard would be next.
As a pitcher, when these guys get on base, you've got to vary your times, your tempos, your holds. You've got to make sure your looks aren't the same when you're looking at the second base guy on second base and coming home, because stealing third is something we've already seen them do in this series to create a chance to score a run.
And he starts Utley with a strike.
And all while doing that, oh, by the way, make a good pitch to home plate, not let that take away from your pitch to home plate, which when runners like him and Rollins get on base, they make you alter your delivery sometimes, and it makes the hitter a little bit better because the pitch isn't as good.
Here's another one of those situations. The runner in scoring position, though, something the Phillies have not been able to capitalize on.
Well, as you were saying in Game 1, John, it's all about slowing it down on the mound in your mind more than anything else. Get all your checks and balances before you're ready to make the pitch. And Suppan certainly has the most experience doing that, and successful experience to call on from his days as a Cardinal. Ball and a strike on Chase Utley, who walked his last time up.
Brewers are doing a good job here of making sure Victorino doesn't get a big lead. You know already that he likes to steal third base, but Hardy's playing right behind him on a mini shift for Utley, so that makes it convenient. They got to make sure Victorino stops, that he doesn't get a walking lead.
Utley to the right side. Ray Durham will take care of Chase Utley for out number 2. So Ryan Howard draws the intentional walk, his 7th walk of this postseason. And the Phillies with 2 on, runners at the corners now for Pat Burrell. Charlie Manuel quick to point out that of the 25 innings the Phillies have batted in this series leading up to this game, they've only scored in 3 of those 25. And a 3-run inning in the second inning in game 1, and the 5-run inning, including the grand slam by Victorino in game 2.
And Brian, you mentioned they got 9 hits last night. They weren't able to really put any of those together until the 9th inning. They got 3 of those hits in the 9th inning. That still didn't produce a run.
2 outs for Burrow. Runners at the corners for Philadelphia. And Suppan misses with a curveball.
If you ever hear the term front door, that's exactly what they're trying to do right there. It's called throwing it at the right-handed hitter, breaking it on the inside part, trying to get him to freeze. Obviously, he threw it too far inside and high and then get the call. But that's a pitch that's really come about lately. It's not a pitch that's been popular with right-handers to right-handed hitters.
Ball and a strike. That single by Burrow in the second inning, his first of the series. 5 for 34. Been a big story, and that's why Charlie Manuel made the switch in his lineup, inserting Dobbs into the lineup and placing Victorino back in the 2-hole today.
Good thing they had great starting pitching in the first 2 games.
You watch these games and these 2 teams, the way they've hit offensively, you just think at some point it's got to break open. At some point one team's going to not keep leaving these runners on base. There's been a lot of opportunities, and the credit so far is going to the pitcher, but at some point the hitters are going to have to step up and take advantage of these opportunities.
Hitters count for Pat Burrow. 2 balls and a strike with runners at first and third. And Suppan caught the corner. How about that pitch? That's the Hall of Fame spot down there. At the knees on the corner. You place it there your entire career, you're headed to Cooperstown.
Can't get much better than that to get a strike.
No, that's pretty good. Now, if he's trying to guess, it's been difficult all series with the pitchers, but if he works off that last pitch and throws that cutter away, starts it at that height, you might get a chase.
Suppan stranded 2 Phillies in the second, trying to do the same here in the third.
What's this about, John? Setup pitch?
Well, you know, scouting reports, videos, everything is so good. You know the tendencies of everything. The cat and mouse game is, do you try and trick them? Do you set them up for the pitch you want to get them out? Or do you go right away to the kill pitch? And sometimes these discussions, pitcher catcher just wants to make sure. You know, Kendall's just done a great job this series bringing his pitchers through this Phillies lineup almost flawlessly.
2-2. Kendall setting up inside, and Burrow launches one deep left field, and Pat Burrow, a 3-run home run. Suppan trying to pound one inside, pays for it. 4-0 Philadelphia as Pat Burrow launches one into deep left field.
Well, they chose the other option, Joe. They chose to go inside instead of feeding off that pitch that was a great pitch away and get him reaching for something and go up and in, but it's right down the middle. It's not the pitch you want.
And they also took the option of pitching around Ryan Howard to get to a guy who's been wearing out, Jeff Suppan, and he comes through again. And I would say that as loud as these thunder sticks are in this stadium, Pat Burrow's stick just made a lot louder noise.
Pat Burrow delivers a big 3-run home run, and the Phillies out to a 4-0 lead. Suppan trying to challenge Burrow inside, and Burrow with his second hit continues to swing the bat well against Jeff Suppan.
Well, we talked about in the open, he's susceptible to the home runs. You'd hope they'd be solo home runs. That one stings a lot. 3-run homer in a series that really there has not been a lot of runs. And as we talked about lineups that have feasted off of the homers, the Phillies are the only team in this series to hit homers.
Ball and a strike on Jason Worth. And he launches one deep left center field. This one's got a chance to go. And it will go. Jason Worth. A bomb into left center field. And it's 5-0 Philadelphia.
That gives Jason Worth a home run, a triple, and 3 doubles in this series. And while he has had some bad at-bats and looked bad on some strikeouts, nothing but extra base hits for him. Hanging breaking ball, and this ball was hit a mile in deep left center. Mike Cameron knew where that one was going.
A 400-foot blast from Jason Worth. And it's 5-0 Philadelphia. The Phillies with 4 runs in here in this 3rd inning. Well, you think Suppan was a pitch away from getting out of this inning. Instead, the Phillies turn it around and explode here in the 3rd. Now it's Greg Dobbs, a home run threat at the plate as well.
Well, I guess we got the answer to whose club was going to explode first from the opportunities.
And now Dobbs into center field. Mike Cameron is there. And the inning ends, and the natives are restless here at Miller Park. Big inning for the Phillies.